I'm very, very happy today to introduce a dear friend and the real freedom fighter, Sherzad.
Sherzad.
Yes. He comes from Kurdistan, and I think, Sherzad, you should be the one to make the introduction. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
After 70 years in Iraq and in Iraqi Kurdistan do not have any Jewish life. After this, I am first one after 70 years. I opened a Jewish community in my country, in Kurdistan, Iraqi Kurdistan. It's not all, because in this time I opened this community. It's 2014. ISIS come to Iraq and make a lot of genocide for Christian and Yazidi, Kurdish Yazidi, and fight with all these people need to stay in their land and need peace. It's like big hope for all these people do not go to our country and stay in country and against ISIS and against all these terrorist group to Turkish and Iranian support these groups for make genocide to Kurdish people or to Christian people or to another people. Do not believe war, do not believe radicalism, do not believe terrorism. In this time, in 2014, we opened Jewish community after 70 years, and we pay blood, we pay tax, we pay a lot of blood, because in Kurdistan, the neighborhood of Kurdistan is Iran and Turkey and Iraq and Syria, and in this time for me not easy in open Jewish community, or we talk about coexistence and tolerance, because all this country do not believe coexistence, and Kurdish people thousands years believe tolerance and coexistence, and we try to make this holy land safe. After this, in 2017, I go to my country. I stay in Israel because Iran should try to occupy Kurdistan with Hezbollah, with ISIS, with all Iranian militia. And from 2017 until today, I work to Kurdish lobby in Europe, in United States, in Canada, and in all this country. I try to help Kurdish people and Israeli people, Jewish people in the Middle East, because I believe in Middle East these two people believe coexistence and tolerance with each other, with another people. Before thousands of years, these Jewish people and Kurdish people have history to in Median Imperial until today do not have any war between Kurdish and Jewish, and Kurdish and Jewish in Middle East save all this religion and another people like Assyrian, Kildanian, Syriani, and Armeni, and Christian, and Yazidi, and Zoroastrian, and Kakai, all this religion in Middle East, Baha'i. It's my goal, and it's my job, and it's my activated until today to this journey, life journey.
And you have paid a very severe price for your belief in freedom and for your religious beliefs. Sherzad, he's a little bit shy on admitting it. He's being the target of 3 murder attempts by the Islamist terrorists. Sherzad is a frequent contributor to EastMedNews.org and to the database of the Republican Party, which you obviously know I represent in Greece. And this series of interviews has a goal. it needs, we need to make the people of the world aware of the Kurdish problem, of the Kurdish plight. And the Kurds are not a civilization, a people that arrived yesterday or 10 years ago on the international scene. The Kurds have been in the high mountains of beginning of Anatolia to Iran and nowadays Syria, and for 1,500, 2,000 years. They have been there together with the Armenians, together with other groups, the Yazidi, as you very well said, that had been the regular targets of genocide by Turkey, by Iran, by Persia before Iran, and by Turkey before Turkey. They were known from the beginning of the Byzantine Empire, with which they coexisted peacefully. But then other tribes came in, Islam came in, and then the massacres of the Kurdish people began. Unfortunately, they began then and they continue today. And we see the plight of the Kurdish people in many countries, but the latest we've been watching is their plight in Syria, in which they've been targets of frequent genocidal attacks, and today they are the target of a concerted effort by jihadists working in close cooperation with Turkey to take over Syria and to transform it again into an Islamic caliphate, something which was averted by President Trump during his last campaign. I would like to stress that Kurdistan is a target for all these hostile to America, as well obviously as the Kurdish people, countries, because of many factors, but one being the fact that in Kurdish land there's oil. And that is not something that the aggressor powers in the region can allow, mainly Turkey and Iran. Now, Sherzad, tell us about the actions you've taken during the last years to make people aware of the Kurdish plight against Turkish and Iranian and jihadist attacks and military intervention, and how the Republican Party, which I represent here in Greece, can assist your plight, which eventually has the goal of bringing peace and stability to the area, and of course the well-being of the Kurdish people. Mm-hmm. Tell us point by point how you've done it the last few years.
Yeah. Kurdish do not have problem with anyone.
It's a bit louder though.
Yeah. Kurdish do not have problem with Iranian people or Turkish people, or the Turkish government or Turkish people have problem with Kurdish. The Iranian people, Iranian government have problem with Kurdish because if in close future Kurdistan be independent, and this land named Turkey, it's half for Greece, and the Turkish occupied all this land, and half to Kurdish people, half to Bulgarian people, and after Kurdistan independent in Turkey, do not have anything named Turkey, Republican Turkey. Iran like this, have 40 million Kurdish people in Turkey, have 15 million Kurdish people in Iran. Iran have problem with Kurdish people. Kurdish people do not have a problem in Syria and Iraq.
So you suggest, to make it quite simple, that these governments fear the fact that they have mixed populations, and they fear an eventual rebellion by the Kurdish people. Doesn't that sound a little bit like the causes of the Armenian and the Assyrian genocide in the early 1900s by Turkey? Wasn't that the same reason again?
I believe yes, because in 100 years in Sykes-Picot or Lausanne, and we see Turkish and these four countries make a lot of genocide for Kurdish people, for another people. Sometimes do not by them hand. Like Turkish have a lot of militia, a lot of terrorist group. Iran have a lot of terrorist group. We see in Houthi and Hezbollah and Hashd al-Shabi in Iraq and
so basically, what you're saying is that those governments of Turkey and Iran many times don't operate directly with the immediate military power, but they use what we call surrogates, proxies, other dirty people to do their dirty work for them, which essentially the dirty work is getting rid of the Kurds.
Now it's a problem because Iran, we see in this history after Khomeini, after 79, we see Iran change for more bad, and Turkish do not change until today. Turkish just have make up to democratic and make a lot of NATO terrorists. Today, Turkish big shame for NATO. Why? Because in Libya, in Syria, in Iraq, we see Turkish plan and Turkish agenda in all these countries.
And probably you're a little bit shy and skeptical of saying it, but I'm going to say it for you. And we see Turkish intervention through Hamas and Hezbollah.
Yes, it's by public.
They have been funding Hamas and Hezbollah. And the crux of the problem is the fact that the Muslim Brotherhood is based in Turkey. We'll talk about a little bit the Muslim Brotherhood in a different episode. So we'll leave that there because it's a very long chapter. But tell us, because many viewers are not quite aware, how is the structure now of the, let's say, free zone? How is the administrative structure of the Kurdish areas in Iraq? How are they administered in Syria, the Free Kurdish? Explain a little bit how the various territories exist and cooperate, starting with Iraq.
I believe after 2000, after 11 of September, changed a lot of things in Middle East for United States and Europe understand the nationalist country or religion country. It's so dangerous for Middle East, like Turkish and Iran. It's dangerous country, and Kurdish save this thing and do not build nationalist, social nationalist country like Turkish, and do not build a religion country like Iran.
Does there exist now a autonomous region in the northern area of Iraq?
Yes, but it's Kurdistan. It's like a coexistence country, government or country.
Well, it's not a country. It's an autonomous zone. Because many people, we have to be a little bit simplistic, because many people who are not aware of the Kurdish plight don't know about these things, and sometimes we have to over-explain a couple of things. So basically we're starting to say that there's one in northern Iraq that's an autonomous zone, which was set up after the Gulf Wars and the overthrow of Saddam Hussein. Yes. And the reason was because the Western coalition was afraid that the Iraqis and the Iranians would slaughter all the Kurds.
Yeah. After 91, Kurdish built this autonomy state and have government. It's so different with Iraq. It's another Iraq because Kurdish so different with the
mentality is different. They think different,
culture different, and politics and the relationship different, and different history, and different people by everything. And Kurdish land, the Kurdish part, in Iraqi Kurdistan, it's so rich land for everything, for oil, petrol, and
Mosul
water.
is the capital, if I'm or one of the greater cities, and we all know
Kirkuk.
that Kirkuk is
Kirkuk city,
well, both very heavy oil-producing areas, which unfortunately they have a problem because how is the oil transported? It used to be through Turkey, and Turkey cut off the
to Greece, to Cyprus. But I believe now today America and Europe and some country in Europe support Kurdistan. I do not believe because of oil, because of petrol, because the United States, the special Republican Party, support Barzani or support Kurdish people in Syria and Iraq. Why? Because if do not have Kurdish in this area, I think Ottomanian Imperial next time.
If you don't have Kurds there,
yeah.
you'll have Islamist fanatics. That's
Yes.
for sure. I think most reasonable people understand that Kurdish state is a barrier to the Islamic Caliphate. But let's go now to the autonomous region in Syria. Explain to us which is that region, how is it governed, and which are its current boundaries.
Yeah. Now, the difference between Iraqi Kurdistan and Syrian Kurdistan, Rojava, Iraqi Kurdistan a little bit Republican or conservative or right party, Barzani right party, it's conservative party. But in Rojava, in Syrian Kurdistan, it's so different because left party, PKK, and another party built a small canton. It's not different with autonomy. But today, this party built this government in Syrian Kurdistan, changed mind about left, about PKK. Now Barzani support this part of Syria, Kurdish in Syria. I believe in a close future, must Kurdish in Syria build government and parliament and election, and by not like not like Iran or Turkey, yes. Because PKK it's one part to Iran and support Hezbollah, PKK, and some left party in Islamic party.
That sounds very strange because it's very different, strange to us. That a party of Kurds, albeit a small party, is in league with those who want to destroy Kurdish identity and existence. But just to clarify things, what we call the YPG, the Freedom Fighters of Rojava, are Kurds who are currently aligned with the United States to receive aid, technical assistance. We're present there. We have boots on the ground, as we say it. And we try to make sure that the Turkish Osmanite forces do not overwhelm the defenders of Rojava and the other regions. Now, going how far south does this Kurdish region get to? Does it reach the borders of Jordan?
Now, after 2011, Kurdish in Syria, this party, YPG and YPD, PYD and PKK do not make any agreement with the United States. Because of this, in 2020, Donald Trump do not support Kurdish in Syria and support Erdogan, because in this time have Iran in this area, have Hezbollah in this area, have Assad in this area. And with a lot of pro-Iranian militia. But today, I think, I have information today, YPG have agreement with Israel, with the United States.
Well, that's you don't have to think too much about that. We have boots on the ground. We have troops there, and they're behind YPG. I mean, this has been going on for years.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that the administration has changed twice, the commitment for at least some presence is there.
But sorry, after Bashar Assad, after down Bashar Assad, they changed all this game in
Yes,
Syria.
true.
And because of this, the first meeting between CENTCOM, General Corella with General Mazloum Abde, have one agreement, must Syrian Kurdistan make agreement with Iraqi Kurdistan, because before do not have any connection between these two part, Kurdish part. Because
Quick question: if you're walking from Syrian Kurdistan, can you move to Iraqi Kurdistan? The border is open between the two of them?
no, not open, but I believe in close future have one plan to this part of Kurdistan become one. If these two parts of Kurdistan become one, Turkish agenda or Turkish plan or Iranian plan become down. Why? Because Kurdish be like have power, have big power in this area, in Iraqi Kurdistan and Syrian Kurdistan. In this time, Kurdish patrol do not go to Turkish land direct, go to Syria, Syrian Kurdistan, after to Greece, after to Israel. Or, yeah.
Okay, this is one thing that the Kirkuk oil. There was
not Kirkuk oil. No, because Kirkuk today, sorry, I cut you. Today, Kirkuk, it's not one part, one city, or one part to Iraqi Kurdistan. Today, Kirkuk by Hashd Shabi, this Iranian militia, and Iraqi army.
Kirkuk has been
It's
taken
different.
over.
In 16 October 2017, Qasem Soleimani and Hashd Shabi and all Iranian militia occupied Kirkuk, and Barzani, Talabani, and all Kurdish Peshmerga go to out Kirkuk, and in this time United States do not support Kurdish. I think some Europe country like Germany and I think Israel support Kurdish in 17 October after Kurdish referendum. Because Turkish understand if Iraqi Kurdistan and Syrian Kurdistan become one part, it's dangerous for a Turkish future. Because Turkish understand have 40 million Kurdish people in Turkey, and tomorrow maybe another Kurdistan part in Turkey become one part to these two free part. Now by law in Iraq, Iraq is a federal country, but just by name. Iraq is one country by in the sky, but in the land Iraq 10 part. They do not have one government. It is just in media. They have one country. It is just in media. But by physically you go to Iraq, have 4 or 5 Iraqs. Have Sunni Iraq, have Shia Iraq, have Irani Iraq, have pro Saudi Arabic Iraq, and Kurdistan different. Kurdistan have border with Arab, with another part.
You feel that the Kurdish part of Iraq has been diminishing slowly by the years? Or
yes,
do you
yes, I believe. Why? Because now have 2 million Arab refugee, Iraqi Arab refugee in Kurdistan. Why? Because these people do not want to stay in Iraq. These people believe Kurdish democracy. These people believe Kurdish.
They feel much safer in the freer Kurdish controlled region than when they have in their own region of the country, in Iraq.
Now Kurdish in Iraq is strong, but not this. Like you do not want just power.
Yeah,
because sorry, Iraq today, Iraq it's not independent, not free.
Iraq?
Who move Iraq? Who support Iraq? Who play to Iraqi future? Iran.
Yes.
Everything Iran. In Iraq do not have anything named Iraq. Just maybe in passport, in TV, in media, but exactly it's just Iran.
So you think that jihadists are on the rise in the non-Kurdish areas of Iran? Iraq, excuse me.
Today have good news. United States put a lot of pro-Iranian militia to blacklist. It's today happened this thing. It's so good for Iraqi future. But I do not believe Iraq wake up like before, never do not be one country. Now Iraq militian country, the militian country cannot make any strategic agreement
well,
with
it's not
anyone.
really a country, as you said. It's broken up into smaller, let's say, caliphates of...
Iraqi people need this.
Iraqi people need to have a country back and not...
No. Today, Iraqi Sunnah do not want one Iraq because do not want to stay with Shia. And Shia do not want to stay with Sunnah. And between Sunnah have problem. Between Shia and Shia have problem. But between Kurdish have Shia and Sunnah. But Kurdish Shia and Kurdish Sunnah do not have problem. Kurdish Jewish and Kurdish Muslim do not have problem. And with another people, because in Kurdistan almost have 9 religions.
Yes.
And have a lot of...
well, that's the basics of the Kurdish culture. That it's much more tolerant to anything than any of its neighbors. And
it's important for United States, not petrol, not just petrol, because if you just focus for power, for petrol, for oil, you can lose a lot of things, like you can lose all this land. This land so rich by not just by petrol, have uranium, have a lot of things in
well, first
Iran.
of all, you have the 2 mighty rivers. And the control in the Middle East is not only about oil, it's also about water. And speaking of water, it seems that that also is a bone of contention in Syria, where the Turkomans and the Osmanites are trying to take over the Kurdish sovereignty over the mighty river.
Yeah, but now for Europe, 2 things so important. The first, the terror group, second, refugee deal. This card every time Erdogan and Iran use this card to Polish, to Greece, refugee card. Who can stop, who can burn this card in Middle East? I believe just Kurdish people have history for this. But today, why Erdogan cannot use this card like before, like 2020, like 2015, between 15 and 20, before COVID-19? Because today Kurdish government have good relationship with Europe, with all Europe country, and in these 4 years for Biden, I think Kurdish lose a lot of things in the Middle East, like Israel happened 17 October 2017 after this all terrorist group shoot Kurdistan, and 7 October 2023 happened same thing in Israel like in Kurdistan. It's like copy paste, like the history come back and we cannot see.
It's always radical Islamism against everybody else.
It's all radical to dream. Iran have one dream, build Safavid imperial, and Turkish have one dream, Ottomanian imperial, for build Ottomanian imperial, and the Muslim Sunnah do not just listen to Azhar University or Azhar, I do not know, and Saudi Arabic. And Iran need control all Shia in the world, and Turkish need control all Sunnah in the world with Qatar. But who support Turkish and Iran to make ISIS? Obama for Arab Spring with Qatar. Who make Muslim Brotherhood group?
At that question, I'm going to remind that the clock is running, and we had a great interview. But we're going to continue with the same question on our next show, which is going to be people very soon. I want to thank Sherzad.
Thank you very much.
A fantastic interview, first interview. We promise we will continue this interview on our very next show. Until then, I don't know the word for goodbye in Kurdish. I'll
Spas.
ask
Thank you, Spas.
Spas, okay. And we'll have Sherzad explain the workings of the Kurdish plight on our next show. Thank you very much. Shalom.
very much.
God be with you.
Thank you.